Okay, get a look at the Wildkat. It's really dirty. It's really dirty. And there's so much smudge on the body. It's really dirty. But I don't see any dings. It seems to be pretty much ding-free from what I've seen. Now, I just wiped this off with my t-shirt in these two spots. So, if you can see this one, you can see there's a line there, maybe you can see. And here you can see the line where I wiped it off. I mean, all the pots work good. They don't crackle. The action's pretty low. I'll show you what the action is. A couple of frets are complaining a little bit, so I'm probably clean and adjust the frets. The edges need a little bit of work. Yeah, mostly just to clean up and new strings. This seems like a really nice example. The neck is nice and straight on it, so I'm really happy with it. I was happy with it. It is missing the screw there. Deal's off. So anyway, that's what we got to work with right here. I think it's going to be nice. Okay, I got the Wildkat on the bench, and the first thing I've done is I've tried to chart out any high frets. So I've lowered the action down. I got the neck pretty straight. And how I do that, I just play each fret. So there's a high fret right there. So I've gone through the whole neck, charted them out. There's not really that many. A couple on the E string. The B's got one at the 18th, one on the D, and one on the E. There's a couple little buzzy ones there, but the dressing will take care of that. So what I'll do is, whichever one is high, I'll just individually work them with some sandpaper so there's no high frets. Then I'll level the frets and I'll polish them. Another thing I'll take care of. You see this little thing on my finger? There it is. See that? I'm going to take care of this silly thing. This is coming off, just like on my Court Sunset. Because, I mean, I need it to be a little farther up when I'm doing arpeggios up here and trying to work the bar. So I'll take care of that too. So now that I got the neck figured all out, I'll take the strings off. I will start cleaning this machine. All right, I'm going to tighten up all the hardware on the guitar. The screws in the back there. The nuts, these nuts are loose. That's loose in the back. I'm going to tighten that up first. Then I'm going to polish it with this Meguiar's pretty mild rubbing compound. And these 4 decals are coming off. And to get the residue off, we use a little alcohol prep. We'll just take that residue off while we're here. Okay, I've been buffing the guitar, and it's only got a couple little teeny dings. It's got one right there at the end. It's pretty stinking clean, this guitar. Looks really nice. Did the back. So I'm going to finish off the buffing, because buffing is good. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little knob off so this thing will actually spin around the way I want it to. The difference with this Bigsby is it's chrome plated. So, you know what? I'm going to finish with this file. I'm going to go over the whole thing. Then I'll take some sandpaper and go finer and finer. Then I'll polish it so it'll look shiny. There's no sense in having aluminum there and then chrome over here, and I've already hit it a little bit, so I'll just keep going over it with the file. Okay, we got her all finished, and now we can rotate this anywhere we want. And just kind of polished it up a bit to go with the chrome. So there we go, that's done. Okay, I got the Bigsby over there all set up, and before I clean up the pickups and all the hardware, well, some of the hardware is cleaned up. I'm going to mask off the frets and get ready to do my fret dressing and polish. Always put one piece of tape here first, so when your other tapes come over, you can just peel this up and take them off in one piece if you're careful. That's a tip from me to you. Okay, before I start doing the tops of the frets, I'm going to use this file, if you can see that. It's rounded. There's no material here. It's just flat and smooth, just on the edges. And I'm going to go along. Some of these are sharp. I'm going to go along all of them like that on both sides. Okay, we'll treat the old fretboard. And like I said in the last guitar setup video, I don't like getting them on the frets. I don't want the frets to get oil on them. That doesn't make any sense. That's why I really like using these little VCR head chamois cleaner doodads. Okay, the two screws that hold the Bigsby on, besides the strap button, here they are. Here's the ones that were in there. And they were pretty loose. So I'm putting those ones in. Quite a bit bigger, but I already got one in. I think it's going to hold it a lot better. All right, I went to set the intonation, and it's not going to work on the lower three strings. I have to flip these over the other way. As you can see on these, they can go right up to here, but these ones can't. So I'm going to just make them like this. I'm going to try to just loosen these three strings and flip those around. Okay, you have to take this little wire off. I should have showed you that earlier. The little wire goes in a hole right there, and it kind of just sits in here right along that line and holds those down. I already changed the first two, so I'll show you how I changed this. You gotta give a little bit of slack there. And this one's kind of doesn't want to come out. What's your problem, dude? I think it wants to fight. There's always one that wants to fight. Yeah, this one's kind of stuck in there. Okay, I'm just going to file it down. I might have a little high spot. It's really tight. See if that's enough. Get in there, you freak. Join your little buddies. I might need to file a little bit more. It's tight. I'm gonna pause this. You don't need to see this. You'll be bored. Okay, I finally got it. It kind of just fell in there. So now this wire got to go back into its little hole. Hopefully without too much drama. Getting kind of dark in here. Okay, maybe I can just pull it up over these guys. Get back in there. A little tricky, but I'm tricky too. Bang. Gotcha. So all I really need to do is finish intonating, and then I'll work on the nut. I might leave that till tomorrow. Yeah, that's the second bridge in a row I've had to switch them. Now they'll go farther that way and it'll be in tune when I intonate it. Okay, now it's time to cut the nut. This is a 0.11, 0.011. I like the nut anywhere from usually around 0.10. And this is 0.11, so I'll give you an idea. Some meat's got to come off there. Quite a bit, actually. Sometimes I'll leave the nut a little bit high if I want to play slide. Because you can have pretty low action up the neck, but you can't have the nut cut too low, or you're not going to be able to play slide very well. If you're going to cut the nut with sandpaper, try to get it round. Like I'm just finishing up this E string. Try to make it round, because it's going to give the string something to slide on. Okay, I'm going to hit this neck with some lemon oil one more time. I think it could use a second treatment. Okay, last but least, we're going to use some graphite and the nuts, but you got to be careful with this stuff. It makes a mess. And I just did the fretboard a second time with this. So you don't want to tape it. If you tape the fretboard like that, it kind of messes up the finish a little bit. So I just have this laying on top and taped on the bottom, so I can get this in without getting it all over the fretboard. So I'm going to do this and then tune her up, and I should be done with this setup.